The Pentagon is not just a building, it's one of the most secure locations on Earth. It serves as the headquarters of the U.S. Department of Defense, housing top military leaders, classified intelligence, and national defense operations. But from the outside, the Pentagon looks just like any other office building. So, how does it protect itself from terrorist attacks, cyber threats, and even aerial assaults? Over the years, the Pentagon has been rebuilt, reinforced, and redesigned to withstand almost anything. This video will explore the hidden security measures, anti-terrorism upgrades, and defense systems that make the Pentagon nearly impenetrable. The early days of the Pentagon security wasn't the top priority when the Pentagon was built during World War II. The main goal was to construct it quickly and cheaply to support the war effort. At the time, the U.S. needed a central hub for military operations. The Pentagon's five-sided design was chosen to fit the available land while maximizing office space. However, security concerns were minimal because the most significant threats were overseas, not at home. The building was constructed using mostly reinforced concrete, with steel in high demand for weapons and tanks. It did not have blast-resistant walls, high-tech surveillance, or air defenses, so a direct attack on U.S. soil seemed unlikely. The Pentagon remained vulnerable for decades, relying primarily on guards and basic security measures. But that would change in the 1990s when a new, unexpected threat forced a significant renovation. The 1990s. A new threat emerges. By the 1990s, the Pentagon wasn't under attack by terrorists. It was under attack by asbestos. The aging building needed serious renovations. Officials saw this as a chance to rebuild with better security. One section, Wedge 1, was completely torn down and redesigned with cutting-edge anti-terrorism features. Engineers experimented with blast-resistant walls, reinforced steel beams, and impact-proof windows, all in the name of national security. The timing couldn't have been more critical. Just as the upgrades were completed in 2001, terrorists crashed a plane directly into the Pentagon during the 9/11 attacks. However, the damage was significantly reduced because the plane hit the newly reinforced section. The success of these upgrades led to Project Phoenix, a plan to overhaul the Pentagon's security completely. Over the next few years, the building would become one of the most secure places in the world, designed to withstand almost any attack. 9/11. The ultimate security test. On September 11, 2001, a hijacked plane crashed directly into the Pentagon. It was a devastating attack, but by sheer luck, the plane struck the one section of the building that had just been reinforced. The newly upgraded Wedge 1 had been designed with blast-resistant walls, steel reinforcements, and Kevlar mesh to absorb impact and prevent deadly shrapnel. The windows were 1.5 inches thick and explosion-proof, so even though a plane crashed into them, they didn't shatter. These security features saved hundreds of lives by slowing the structure's collapse. The attack made it clear that the Pentagon needed even stronger defenses. In response, the Department of Defense launched Project Phoenix, an extensive effort to upgrade the entire Pentagon with state-of-the-art security. From better building materials to new surveillance systems, these changes would turn the Pentagon into a nearly impenetrable fortress. However, securing the building itself wasn't enough. Officials also needed to protect the entire area around it. Securing the perimeter, the first layer of defense. After 9/11, officials realized that the Pentagon's most significant vulnerabilities were not just inside the building but also around it. One central weak point was the metro station underneath the Pentagon. Before the upgrades, anyone could exit the metro and walk directly into the area under the building. To eliminate this risk, the entrance was completely closed off, forcing all visitors to enter from above ground through security checkpoints. Another problem was Route 110, a highway that once ran dangerously close to the Pentagon. This meant that cars, trucks, or potential bomb threats could get within just a few meters of the building. To fix this, the highway was rerouted through the Pentagon's parking lot, creating a buffer zone where every vehicle must pass through security screening before coming near the Pentagon. These changes transformed the Pentagon's surroundings into a security fortress. But there was still one more major vulnerability: the sky. So, the U.S. government turned to advanced air defense systems to protect the Pentagon from above. Air defense protecting the skies. Above the Pentagon. Pentagon security had to expand beyond the ground with the rise of airborne threats. That's where the National Capital Region Integrated Air Defense System, NCRIADS, comes in. A high-tech network of radars, sensors, and missile defenses that protects Washington, D.C. Across the river, radar stations and surveillance cameras continuously monitor the skies over the Pentagon, Washington, D.C., and parts of Virginia and Maryland. If an unauthorized aircraft enters this protected airspace, the system immediately locks onto the target. First, the Pentagon uses non-lethal deterrence. A laser warning system shines a bright beam into the cockpit, alerting pilots that they are flying in restricted airspace. Any trained pilot knows this means turning around immediately. If the pilot ignores the warning, the Pentagon has a backup plan: engagement assets. This is a fancy term for surface-to-air missiles stationed at multiple locations. If a serious threat is present, these defenses can shoot down aircraft in seconds. F-fighter jets are also on standby 24/7 at nearby air bases to ensure the fastest response time. If needed, they can intercept threats within minutes. With advanced air defenses, strict perimeter security, and a reinforced building, the Pentagon is nearly impossible to attack. But what about threats that come from inside? Let's examine how the Pentagon protects itself from internal dangers. Mail and delivery security. Stopping threats before they enter. One of the Pentagon's most significant security risks isn't just bombs, planes, or cyber attacks. Mail. With thousands of packages and deliveries arriving each day, there's always a chance that something dangerous could be hidden inside. To prevent this, the Pentagon doesn't receive deliveries directly. Instead, all mail and packages are sent to a separate facility called the Remote Delivery Facility, RDF. Built as part of Project Phoenix, this high-security checkpoint is nearly as large as the Pentagon and is designed to detect explosives, weapons, and other threats before they ever reach the building. When a truck arrives, it undergoes multiple layers of security screening. Security teams inspect vehicles with mirrors and search dogs, and the driver must pass a metal detector scan before unloading. Every package is then X-rayed and tested for hazardous materials. Only after a package clears all security checks is it transported through a secure underground tunnel to the Pentagon. This system ensures that nothing dangerous makes it inside. With physical security, air defenses, and strict delivery screening, the Pentagon is almost impossible to attack from the outside. But what about threats from within? That's where internal security measures come in. Inside the Pentagon, internal security measures. Once inside the Pentagon, security is just as tight as outside. Not everyone can freely move around the building. Different areas have different clearance levels, meaning only authorized personnel can enter. Security starts at entry points, where all employees must scan badges and pass through metal detectors. Some highly classified areas require additional biometric authentication, such as fingerprint or retina scans. The entire Pentagon is under constant surveillance. Hundreds of CCTV cameras monitor hallways, offices, and outdoor areas, feeding live footage to security teams. Undercover security officers dressed as regular employees watch for suspicious behavior. If someone does manage to sneak past security, the Pentagon has a rapid response system. In an emergency, sections of the building can be instantly locked down, trapping intruders inside until security forces arrive. Cybersecurity is another critical defense. The Pentagon is constantly under cyber attack from hackers and foreign governments, so its network is protected by some of the world's most advanced firewalls and encryption. With layers of physical, digital, and human security, breaking into the Pentagon is practically impossible. But what if someone did try? Could it be breached? Let's find out. Could someone breach the Pentagon? No building is 100% secure, but the Pentagon comes as close as possible. However, history has shown that no security system is perfect. Over the years, embassies, military bases, and even the White House have faced security breaches. Cyber attacks, insider threats, and new forms of terrorism constantly target the Pentagon. Lessons from past attacks, like September 11th, have shaped how security is handled today. The Pentagon regularly updates its defenses using advanced technology, intelligence sharing, and rapid response teams to stay ahead of potential threats. While it's theoretically possible to breach the Pentagon, it would require an extreme, highly coordinated attack. The Pentagon is more than just a military headquarters. It symbolizes American strength and security. Over the years, it has been reinforced and upgraded to withstand any attack. From blast-proof walls and restricted airspace to biometric security and cyber defense, the Pentagon is one of the most secure buildings in the world. With constant upgrades and around-the-clock surveillance, it remains one of the most challenging places on Earth to infiltrate. Want more security deep dives? Like and subscribe for more insights into the world's most protected locations.